Hello FleetReadyFam, welcome to FleetReadyGaming. My name is Sivad, and today we are doing another episode of Patch Note Watchout. CIJ came out with a patch about 2 hours ago for Alpha 3.18 Open PTU, which has a lot of good bug fixes in it and is bringing us ever closer to the live release candidate. So let's go ahead and check it out and get into it. Okay, so today is February 17th, 2023. This patch came out at 7:28 p.m. Pacific time. And let's take a look. A couple noticeable minor updates to it. Today's build has expanded server regions for PTU into the Asia server region. So awesome to hear that all the players out in Asia are going to be able to have a much more, latency, overall better latency while playing the PTU. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on. So for the known issues, the Constellation multivariants are still having issues with their snub fighter, which lacks interaction prompts, making it unusable. Whilst Klim is still missing from the drug labs in Grimhex, looted ammo clips have been dropping off players. Audio and sound effects for quantum travel have been missing. I've been getting this one a lot on my streams. Scanning is still not showing advanced statistics and details. For transit, elevators and trams are jittery during transit of player characters, and they also came out with a bunch of fixes for that to try to make that a bit better for players. Salvage. Some shipwreckages erroneously give no material text and do not let you salvage. Cargo performance. Fully loaded C2 landing at Area 18 results in slow frame rates or crash. Vehicles IFCS. When flying near another ship seems to hit an invisible box that kicks it in a random direction. I was having, it's this one's interesting because over the course of the PTU, it's kind of morphed. I was doing a stream the other night and I was fighting up against a caterpillar. And every time the caterpillar tried to joust at me or would just get close to me, this invisible box would kick in and would, bounce both of us in different directions. I found that depending on how fast you've set your speed limiter, it will depend on how violently it will, kick you off in a different direction. But just a little, interesting note that I've discovered. Moving on. Cargo performance. High-capacity cargo vessels, when loaded, can cause a severe performance drop on both client and server. Actor feature law respawn. If a player is placed into cluster after being rescued with a crime stat, the player is respawned in the facility still incapacitated. Breach and steal. Design missions locations. The target reclaimer, October Rising, will disappear when you get very close to it, making the mission impossible. Ship commodity trading, cargo inventory. Selling some of the cargo while the vehicle is stored caused the cargo to show at max inventory capacity. Selling commodity kiosk cargo. Large amounts of cargo sold at once will cause the transaction to fail. The cargo will be taken and no money will be granted. Law and criminality. Commodities cargo. Stolen cargo does not behave as such and can be sold as legal cargo if the ship with the cargo is stored. Locations, transit, elevators. Players can fall through elevators. That's definitely been one that's been a long time. Rest stop R&R. Rundown stations. Design transit location. The player is unable to call the elevator from hangar interior. So these issues, it's the same issues we've been having for like the last entire PTU pretty much, but some of them about the last 4 or 5 patches. But they have managed to get a good chunk of them sorted out already, which is awesome to see. Let's continue on and see which ones in particular have been fixed and what other changes to the patch cycle we can expect. Feature updates. Ship and vehicles. Adjusted the M50's atmospheric tuning based on racing performance feedback to bring it in more line with other racers. Awesome to hear. I've definitely been wanting to get into racing more, especially with the big focus and push over the last two quarters on the both racing tracks and ships in general. It's awesome to see. And yeah, moving on. Bug fixes. This build has had many extra fixes in for trams and landing zones to help them detect if they are about to collide or outright stop to help them not get stuck. If they do happen to get stuck, we have put in extra logic to detect them being stopped and will force them to reset position to default if it detects trams not moving. This is temporary and will be immersion breaking for now if it does happen, but this is a temporary workaround in case issues still occur. Awesome to hear. You know, as I had mentioned in my stream the other night, you know, it's definitely immersion breaking when your tram derails and then falls through the planet and you're left to die. You know, that's an extreme that's happened, but, you know, just in general, trams jittering and flipping around and rotating in ways they're not supposed to. Glad to hear they're putting at least a workaround to make the process a little more streamlined. All right. So, fixed. Multiple locations transit. Trams become stuck after reaching their destinations. Also fixed. The Kruger P72 Archimedes Emerald ship paint. The top front section of the P72 is white as the default non-emerald paint. Glad to hear that fixed, because for those coming and watching, we actually have a giveaway contest going on for the Kruger P72 Archimedes Emerald with LTI. We'll have a link pop up in that corner with the video information if you're interested in figuring out, finding out how to enter the contest to possibly win it. Let's continue. Fixed. Hurston, Rivers, Planet Tech graphics locations. Walking in shallow water makes the area darkened. I've actually had this happen, but not on Hurston. I actually had that happen on Microtech. So, seems like some of the rivers definitely have a little bit more bugs that need to be fixed out. Fixed. Multi-vehicle UI, vehicles mining. Mining UI and turret is small, low resolution, and hard to read. Glad to see that fixed. I have had that issue a long time ago, back in like 3.15. They had issues with the hand mining tool that had similar issues with it being too small to read. Fixed. Vehicle controls. Vehicles may be unable to lift off from pad after retrieved from ASOP. Good to hear. I've had that issue quite a few times. Fixed. Reputation, Delphi missions, mercenary. Security contractor evaluation is not reoffered upon failure. Fixed. Mining UI. The gems of Hadanite appear as Aphorite when hovered over in player's inventory. Definitely good to see. That would be very confusing after doing a mining run. Fixed. Security post Korea. Mission content art. Spawn closets have viz areas when open. Mixed. Multi-vehicle ship vehicle cargo. After snapping to the cargo grid, RMC commodity crates cannot be detached again with the tractor beam. Glad to see that's fixed. I actually noticed that issue in my Vulture the other day and wasn't sure if that was intended or not, but glad to see it was a bug and it's been fixed. Fixed. Aegis Reclaimer. Ship physics design. The top airlock of the Reclaimer lacks appropriate collision and can allow players to fall through to access ship. Yeah, definitely a good one to fix, especially for player-owned Reclaimers. Fixed. Multi-ship vehicle kiosk ASOP terminal UI. Some ships that can hold cargo will show a cargo capacity of 0. I have had that happen many times, so glad to see that's been fixed. An exploit has been fixed with the UI. Party members who die in ship combat can become undetectable to to each other on foot or in vehicles. This is the invisible player bug that's been talked about a lot on Spectrum and Reddit, that people have been abusing for some time now and has been very replicatable up until this point, supposedly. So glad to see that's fixed. Getting any exploit out of the way definitely makes the game a better place. Fixed UI ASOP terminal of ships and vehicles. The designated hangar does not display on the ASOP terminal after retrieving a ship. Haven't ran into this one. I've heard of it, but glad to see it's fixed. Best to know where your ship is at when you are trying to get to it. UI VMA Mobiglass. All ships are blurred on the VMA. That's one I've had for some time. Glad to hear that's been resolved. Ship commodity trading, cargo inventory. Selling some of the cargo while the vehicle is stored cause the cargo to show max capacity. Glad to see that's finally been fixed. Haven't really ran into that, but a couple of my logistics members in my org definitely have while doing cargo runs, so good to hear. Meanwhile, at the R&R clinics, at the pharmacy, the kiosks were not showing the inventories, which has been fixed, so that's awesome. For mining, location harvestables, FPS harvestable rocks become unresponsive after charging and do not fracture. Definitely a good thing to fix, with it being the introductory easy level for new players or just people trying to do hand mining. Hull scraping, UI vehicles. Derelict wrecks have incorrect highlight colors when targeted in salvage mode. And finally, fixed locations are Crusader for Area 18 and Orison. The trams were out of sync with the station timers, causing trams to overlap and not appear on time. Definitely had this issue happen, although it was happening to me on New Babbage, so hopefully that's been fixed as well. And then finally, for technical, we have a whopping 15 client crashes fixed and 9 server crashes fixed as well. This is the type of patch I love to see. It is chock full of fixes. They're doing adjustments to a ship, more the better. Love to see that, and they're putting some workarounds in for some very serious and frustrating bugs with the trams and elevators. So some good stuff. Well, some fascinating stuff today. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Have you been having any of the issues that have now been fixed? Are there any issues that they still haven't addressed that maybe isn't on the known issues list and hasn't been for the PTU? I've been getting some throughout the PTU as well. One of the ones, if any CIG dev happens to see this, there's an issue going on with quantum travel. It's not just the audio and sound effects moving, but also the visual effects. You'll have them for the first 10 seconds with their flying, and then the actual quantum field that is around the ship disappears, and you're just left with blurry stars as you move through space. Anyways, as mentioned, we have a contest going on. Check out the video. We'll have the link for the contest video down in the description below. Check it out if you're interested in participating. And if you feel like we deserved it, consider liking this video. It helps spread our channel throughout the YouTube algorithm, lets people know we're here and making content for them. And if you feel like we've earned it, consider subscribing. We're a small channel looking to grow. We're currently sitting at 51 subscribers, looking to grow up to 100 by the end of the year. And would love to have you join our community. And feel free to write something in the comment section. I try to write to every single person that does. I'd love to have discussions about Star Citizen. And if you want to take that to the next level, we also have our Discord information in the description as well. So, feel free to join us there. You can talk with me as well as any of my org members from UGIS. And join us when we decide to do, Star Citizen lives and things like that, live streams. Would love to have you. With that being said, we're going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.